Hello. Hi.
Yes, hello. Hello.
Yeah, hi, sir. Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. This is Rigobert on
Uh,
the line.
Hello, everyone. Very good morning and good evening. Welcome to Sastra Geek Step Up Circles. I hope you all are able to hear me loud and clear. Can I get the confirmation over the chat if you are able to hear me loud and clear? Quickly over the chat. Yes, over the chat if you are able to hear me loud and clear. Thank you, everyone for your response. Thank you very much. So, to let you know, you are into the step up circles of Sastra Geek Solutions, and uh, uh, I am basically the directors in Sastra Geek Solutions. So we are doing this step up circles almost for 7 to 8 months. We are every Monday morning. Earlier we were doing in Thursday. Now every Monday morning we try to bring a exciting topic and share the knowledge. Okay. There would be people who would be joining it repeatedly into the multiple sessions. We have done a lot of exciting sessions on data archiving, and overview of EWM, overview of Ariba, Coupa we have done the session on the blockchain. So today's session would be on the TM. So we are also starting a batch from the coming weekend on the TM. So we thought it would be good to give you overview of TM. You would also be getting overview of TM if anyone wants to join the sessions, which is starting from the detailed session, which is starting from the coming weekend, that also you would be able to do it, right? So that we'll be doing it. But anyone is there who is joining us first time so that I can a little bit explain in detail that how this overall conversation will go. Anyone who is joining first time these Monday morning session, FT on the chat window. First time, so that I can also welcome you to the community. Okay, FT over the chat window. So we have Dhananjay, we have Parth, we have Nikhil, we have Ashish, Harshad, Jai Chandra, Ved, Rajesh. Okay, so many people are joining us first time. Sara is also there. So all the people who are joining us first time, a warm welcome to the Sastraki community. So we are a community where basically we believe in the knowledge sharing. We do these sessions every Monday morning, so you can repeatedly join this. We call it as a weekly dose or weekly recharge of knowledge, which we give it. Monday morning for the people joining from the Asia Pacific, people joining from the Western side, it would be the Sunday evening for them, right? So how these sessions would be conducted, let me quickly explain you. So in these sessions, we would be starting up with the topic which we have defined. So today's topic is overview of SAP TM that we would be providing you. So once we do the topic, it would be kind of a webinar mode where you all would be on mute. But if you have any questions, you can put it on the chat. At the end of the topic, I would be giving you access to unmute yourself. Okay, you would be able to unmute yourself and you would be able to ask the question. So that is the first segment. In the second segment, there are a lot of people also need a career consulting, and they reach out to me over LinkedIn, they reach out to me over WhatsApp or emails, and I also give them a link that you can book one-to-one consulting with me. And my one-to-one consulting for the career consulting is already booked for 1 to 1.5 month. My support team would be sharing a link if you want to check. You can also book a one-to-one. But a lot of people who are not getting time, we are also saying that the second leg of these step-up circles, I would be doing a career counseling. So if you have any kind of career-related question, you got stuck with career, you want to start SAP career, or you are already there, but you're not getting the growths, you're not getting the interview calls, you don't know that how to upskill, which module to select for upskill. So I would be doing that at the second part, second leg of it. Okay. So people who join for the career consulting part, please wait till the second leg. And in the second leg, I would be answering your question. So we will be covering almost for 90 minutes SAP S/4HANA TM overview will be covering it. And then we'll be jumping into the career consulting. Okay. Now let me start the topic. Can you quickly confirm if you are able to see my screen? I'm sharing right now, I'm sharing the mind map. If you are able to see the mind map, which I have shared, quickly confirm over the chat window. I would be asking a lot of questions to have, interactions with you to mention on the chat. So keep on responding to me over chat. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Now, before I start, how many people are there to whom SAP TM is completely new thing? Okay. SAP TM is completely new thing. They have never worked on TM. How many people are there? Okay. You can mention NTM, new TM. Okay. NTM you can mention, new to TM. Quickly over the chat. Okay. Praveen, Kiran, Ashish, a lot of people to whom we have, they are new to TM, transport management. How many people are there who has never worked as a domain? Okay. As a domain means you have worked in the operation handling a transportations. Okay. Handling a transportations, working as a freight at the end of the freight provider or managing a transportations. So how many people are there who does not have any domain experience? Mention NDM, no domain experience in transport management, specifically in the transport, NDM. Okay, so Rigobert is there, Jay Chandra is there, Sunil is there. So multiple people are there, no worries. Anyone is there who is new, completely new to SAP? Okay, NSAP. Who's completely new to SAP, NSAP. Okay, there as no one is there who is completely new to SAP. That's good. If you are completely new to SAP, I would not be suggesting you directly jump. Okay, Shri is there who's completely new to SAP. Shri, we can discuss at the last. I generally don't push the people directly to jump TM. I ask people to learn first basic module. If you want to learn TM, SD is a good basic module, and then to jump to the TM. That's what I suggest. Sarah is also new to SAP. No worries. But in this session, I would try to cover the topic in that way so that everybody would be coming on the same platform. I use standard normal business language so that you would be able to make sense out of this session, right? That I would be doing it. So let's now I know that what audience I am handling and dealing with, so it would be a little bit better for me to conduct this session. And I would not only be conducting this session with me, Mr. Satish would be there and Mr. Sunny would be there. During the training also, you would see the videos from me, myself, the live sessions from me, Satish and Sunny. So we three would be handling it. I have a lot of domain experience in transport management, and I have also handled SAP TM, and I've also done some Oracle transport management. So multiple transport management product I have handled it. Okay, I have worked in a 3 years, I have worked in a transport management project. So that's where basically I would be coming in, and Sunny would also play a role, and Satish would also play a role. All three would be there. So first I would be taking you to some overview so that you have a basic understanding, and then we'll be quickly running through in SAP a 1 TM cycle. So session can be a little longer, so stay on. Okay, so first we'll go through some basics, and then we'll be jumping on to know some of the system related part. Okay. Okay. Sarah, there would be a ABAP class. I think you have joined the wrong session. Please contact the people because we have a multiple trainings going on, multiple sessions going on. So you might have joined the TM Step Up Circle class. There would be a ABAP class. There would be a separate link for it. Please jump into the ABAP class. Okay, just contact with the support team. Bhupender, please help Sarah to get jumped into the ABAP. Okay. Nikhil is asking, TM is a part of FICO. No. TM is not at all part of FICO. Okay, let me start. You can put your questions on the chat. I would be in between. I would stop and read and answer. And now I'm starting. So before we start learning, we should know that before you start learning that, okay, SAP TM, What is SAP TM, transport management? Before you start learning SAP TM, you should know that what is transport management. Before you start learning what is transport management, you should know that why it is required. SAP TM is a big product, big module in SAP. It is so complicated. Why do you need to put so much of complications to a business to, or why do they need that kind of complex tools to manage their transportation? So the question comes, Bhaiya, why do we need transport planning? What is the need to have a transport planning? So let's try to understand that. Why do a company need a transport planning? Why they are looking for those tools which can help for the transport planning? So I will be drawing some picture here to explain you. So we would be having here. So this is my plant. Okay. And these are my different customers. So this is plant and these are my different customers, right? And I want to do the deliveries to these customers. I am producing the good. And for my warehouses, I would be loading it into a truck. And now this truck need to go. Okay. Now this truck can go first to this customer. Okay. And then to this customer, and then to this customer, and then to this customer, and then it can return back. Okay. Or it can also be, it's a full kind of a full truck is required for this customer. Something can go directly to this customer, or you can see, you can get a full truck load where basically a full truck has been loaded and it can go to this customer, and come back to this customer. Okay. So this is a very simple thing I am putting. So there would be a multiple, there can be a customer sitting here also. There is a, in between, there can be an ocean. A customer is sitting here also. So you need to, you need to might to bring it somewhere at this place. And from there, you need to have a ship or a boat in which it will be carried to the here, or some places you would need to deliver it through plane. Okay, from air deliveries you need to do it. So the different deliveries you need to do it. So the question comes that when I want to supply from here, which way is better for me? Which way is better for me where I can meet the delivery as per the customer time? Okay, time is important, and where the cost would be less, transportation cost would be less. You will not believe there are industries where the transportation cost is equivalent to the material cost. I'm not saying that the finished product cost, but whatever the raw materials are required to produce that material, the same kind of cost is there to transport also. There are some kind of industries out there like that. Okay. Or some kind of industry, it is between 50 to 70% of the raw material cost is equivalent to the transport cost. And there would be some companies where even the transport cost would be higher. So the transport cost make very crucial part. Okay. And then when you would be supplying it here, so I am producing here, let's say soap. So my focus should be making sure I produce the soap and then I sell it. Now, how it need to happen, or I also take care of the distribution, but how the transport need to happen. When this transport need to happen, the multiple terminologies will come in. Which freight provider I should select, which freight forwarder I should select, which carrier it would be. Shall I send the shipment through the plane, or shall I send the shipment through the road, or shall I send the shipment through the ocean? Okay, how many customers I need to club it together to make a delivery so that I can save the transportation cost. Okay, there can be a case here where I can have a, apart from the customer, I have here vendor. So I can say that, you know, that my truck is going like that. It is uh, uh, going to this customer, delivering it, then going to this customer, delivering it, then empty truck is going to this vendor, and it is It is bringing the stuff from this vendor and then it is coming to me. It is coming to me. Now I'm giving you example of one plant. You would be in the multiple national companies. There would be multiple different plants and multiple distribution centers, inbound warehouse, outbound warehouse. So there would be a web of network. Inside the web of network, if you want to optimize, now word I'm using is optimize. Inside the web of network, if you want to optimize your transportation, that you need to make sure the correct transport provider has been used. And you know that when a lot of places, if you have booked your car and taxi to going to somewhere, let's say you are going to from Delhi to Amritsar, and you just want to go to the Amritsar airport, right? So when you take a taxi from Delhi to Amritsar, many times you would be charging for the two legs, going there and coming back there, right? So you don't, you just want to get it dropped there. You don't have anything to get it back, to get the things back from there, right? So what happens in this case, you are actually wasting it one leg. Some companies would be charging 100% for the return leg. Some companies would say, okay, you give me 50% or 40% for the return leg. That would be enough if the truck is coming empty back, right? And there are many companies who would be charging for the both of the legs. So a company would be thinking, if my truck is going to deliver it, why should come empty? It can pick up the return deliveries from the customer, and we can identify that if there is any vendor is there nearby and he need to deliver the products on the same duration, it's a regular vendor and there's a regular customer, then you can think about, rather than I am providing a freight to my vendor and then I am paying extra to my return truck who is coming empty, I send my truck to the customer, picking from there, delivering the ship there, go to the vendor, pick the goods from the vendor and come back to me. That way I would be saving a lot of cost. That way I would be saving a lot of cost. And then when you would be shipping it from here also, now I am a company who's producing soap. Okay, my focus should be produce soap and sell it. Now these kind of complex transportation, I cannot have my trucks available all the places. I cannot have the ships available or containers available for that. So I would be depending on a lot of the companies who provide the transportation. Okay, and in market there are a lot of companies out there who provide the transportation. There can be few trucks I own by myself. Let's say if I have a regular deliveries between my plants to the distribution center, I say, okay, I own the trucks and I would be managing the trucks. That kind of thing, I can talk about it, right? But there's a lot of different I need to manage the deliveries in the different region of the US, and different region of the US have a different transport provider, and multiple different transport providers are there, right? So you can send it through the DHL, you can send it through the FedEx, you have a third party shippers, you have a third parties, not the shipper, third party freight providers are there, you have a third party carriers are there, so many carriers are there, and everyone for the different route can provide you the different rates also. So now this planning would become very complex for the bigger company. Okay, it would be becoming very complex planning for this bigger company. That's where it comes that, we need some intelligence from the ERP system which can help them to optimize my transportation and to optimize the transportation cost. Now, believe me, okay, I'm sharing you now my live experience where we have worked on one of the transportation project, and our full, that was a very big project. It run for 5 years because it was a multinational company, even 5 to 6 years, doing the making sure the transport management system is implemented in each of the regions. The total cost of the 6 years to implement SAP TM into the different region, it was okay, I don't remember, it was SAP, yeah, it was Oracle TM. The total cost which we have kept actually was much lower, which we saved only with the FTs. So to do this, every plants, every distribution centers, there was 2 to 3 people was there who was handling with the vendors, customers, putting the things in Excel and planning which truck, how much load. Every plant, 2 to 3 people was there. Okay, so what we did, that there was a, in one of the region itself, there was a, in not one of the region, one of the country itself, there was a 80 different plants and 140 different distribution centers. So that much, how many, more than 300 full-time employees was working, more than 300 full-time employees were working on the transportation planning. Okay, because there nobody was having a visibility, and The employees are also working, and we are also putting a cost because the person sitting in Maharashtra does not have a visibility from Bangalore. Okay, that maybe a truck is going to deliver something to the Bangalore, and we have a vendor from Bangalore from where we can get the things back, but that visibility is not there because intelligent tools are not there. So what we did, we created a transportation cockpits for them, where basically rather than each distribution center or each plant people are sitting, people can sit into the centralized corporate office, and rather than 300 people, we were able to manage with the third party. At that time, we hired Infosys with between 30 to 50 people paying lesser to the Infosys. We 300 people work. We were able to manage with 30 to 50 people by giving them an intelligent tool, intelligent software, where the visibility would be there that what shipments we have, and then the tool would be running and optimizing that what should be the optimized shipment route for you, and what should be the optimized vendor who can provide you the better freight. That would be run by the system, and rather than 300 people in a country handling that, we were able to handle between 30 to 50 people were able to handle that. So full-time employees was reduced, and freight optimization was done, and we were getting a better cost also. We were also getting a better timings also. There would be some, not for this business, but one of the another business, there was a criteria. If you need to ship it today, customer need to get it delivery today. And if he is getting tomorrow or a day after tomorrow, he will cancel your shipment. He will cancel your shipment. You need to bring back the truck. He will not accept it. Okay, and that way the whole transportation cost will come to you because the customer has not accepted it. So you need to also make sure it reaches at the time. So this all things combining with each other bring a very, very complex planning, which a business is looking for to have a streamline, where basically they have a tool by which they can use it, and they can identify the right freight forwarders to them. They can identify the right route and optimize the shipment cost. Full last 5 to 7 minute explanation, if I will just put a single line or two words: optimize shipment. Okay, in this way, the route optimization, cost optimization, freight optimizations, everything comes in. So optimize shipments we are looking for to give it to a company. So to have this one, it's required transportation planning. And to do the transportation planning, we need intelligent tools like SAP TM. Okay, there are the multiple companies are there. I would later on I will show you that who are the competitors for SAP TM, who are other apart from SAP TM. Okay, let's move ahead. I have some carrier related questions coming over to me. So I'm parking those questions for now. Okay, I will be answering it. I don't want to directly jump into the career consulting, whether you are the right candidate to learn SAP TM. I would be answering them very shortly. Okay. Now, a lot of people who said, I don't have a domain experience, I have never worked into the transportation, right? You need to little bit put extra effort, because I have worked on the transport management products for OTM when we were handling it, and it was one of the biggest Fortune 500 companies for FMCG. I see the transport management consultant who learn, but they don't have a basic knowledge on basic things: consigner, consignee, freight provider, freight broker, LSP. When the terms come, they get confused. And even first time when I was working on, I was having experience in a little bit in logistics execution in SAP SD, and then I was doing it. I was also getting confused. So first thing I did is I took OTM training. I'm also trained on OTM, Oracle Transport Management, apart from SAP TM. So I took a training on SAP OTM, and there also I was not clear. So I spent quite a lot time refreshing my earlier industry experience, and then finding it out that what are these different terminologies and what do they mean. So it is very important you know the terminologies, because we will be using it a lot during the training: LSP, freight providers, consigner, consignee, and believe me, people does not who has not worked in the industry, they find it difficult to understand this terminology. So in my project, I conducted sessions so that all of the consultants, at least they know these terminology so that they can handle the better business discussion. So we'll be starting with the generic terminology. Okay, a lot of things I'm speaking. Carrier, kya hai yaar? Okay, let's try to understand what I think. Oh, it's a big mind map. Let's go step by step. So different terminologies are there: shipper, freight forwarder, LSP, consignee, consigner. Multiple things are there, right? So let me again draw a diagram here to explain you that what are the different things would be there. So I am here. I am having a. This is my factory or plant where I am producing it. And this is my customer to whom I need to send the material. So this is called factory, this is called plant, this is called customer. In another terminology, it would be calling it. So can you tell me that I have two terminology, answer over the chat. I have two terminology. One is consigner, okay? One is consigner and second is consignee. Can you tell me over the chat which one would be the consigner and which one would be the consignee quickly? Which one would be the consigner and which one would be the consignee? Quickly over the chat. Factory is consigner and customer is consignee. Okay, so people are saying that my plant is consigner and my customer is consignee. Factory is consigner, customer is consignee. Yeah, that's correct. So basically, what is going to happen from where we are shipping it? Okay, so from where we are shipping it, this is also called shipper. Okay, another terminology would be calling for this is shipper. Okay, this is also called shipper, and this is also called consigner. From where I am sending it can also call consigner, right? And to whom I am sending it will be calling it in the transportation language is consignee. Okay, customer would be consignee, and so my shipment is going from here. The truck is going and get it delivered to here. So my factory or plant is my consigner. How about another example where I am having a, now this is my vendor and I am getting a product from the vendor. In this case, when the product is getting from vendor to factory, who would be consigner and who would be consigning? Okay, who would be consigner and who would be consigning? Yes, Mehul said that vendor would be now consigner. How about, what about the consignee? Who would be consignee? Plant become the consignee. So whoever is sending, now this vendor become consigner and now my plant will become a consignee. Okay, so that is the terminology which has been used. So who, shipper, who is the one who is shipping it, who owns the product. It's my product, I'm shipping it. That would be the shipper. In this case, the vendor will become a shipper. The person who is sending the product is consigner. The person who is receiving the product is consignee. Now, it is not like the customer is always a consignee. If I'm getting a return delivery from customer, then what would be the customer? Okay, answer me. If I'm getting a return delivery from customer, what would be my customer? We are just talking about business language. I'm not shifted to SAP. Just a business language we are talking. Yes, vendor is consigner, plant is consignee. If I'm getting return delivery from customer, who is consigner, who is consignee? Quickly over the chat window. Right. Now, I'm asking very basic questions to you and I want everyone to answer it. The why I am asking a lot of questions, the people who are joining it first time, and why I'm asking you to put over the chat. What happened that this would be long sessions and this would be the live trainings, right? And whatever the good focus you have, you will not be able to focus more than 20 minutes. That is the human range. The maximum you can focus in this training is for 20 minutes. So I need to bring back your focus. So whenever I ask something, you go into your keyboard, you type something, that where you would get the next 20 minutes focus back on this training. Next 20 minutes focus back on this training. So always when I ask some question, if you don't know, put no idea, but I want your fingers to go into the keyboards and type something. That's where you will be, I will be bringing you back from the thoughts of office or taking care, making kids ready for the school. I will bring back from those thoughts to this here in this session. Okay, when I ask something, type on the chat window. Okay, so now we understand. Okay, now we understand that who would be the consigner and who would be the consignee. Okay, now this terminology which we are talking about, make a note of that, the whatever I am telling you might not be the absolute, because these terminology vary from country to country. Okay, the consigner, what they called, consignee, they what they call, and LSP, what they call, freight forwarder, what they called, carrier, what they called. These definition vary from country to country and industry to industry also, company to company also. They can use this terminology in a different way. So you need to make sure that whenever you are doing a consulting for SAP TM, whatever the region, country, industry you are handling it, first make sure that what you are talking and what business is understanding and what business is talking and you are understanding, you all are on the same page. So get it clarified. Okay, what do you mean by a consigner, consignee? Consigner, consignee generally would be same, but I have seen a lot of confusion between when sometimes they say, okay, this is my LSP, this is my freight broker or carrier. So what do they mean by that? It's good to have a clear understanding so that we all are on the same page. Now I'm jumping into that terminology once you understand who is consigner, who is consignee. Now the another terminology I'm talking about is terminology I'm talking about is, now this truck, the guy who would be carrying this truck would be called carrier. Okay, would be calling a carrier. So the person who would be actually owning the transportation, who would be bringing his truck to your premise, and then who would be taking it to the customer process, that is your carrier. I would also give you example of the different carriers available in different regions, different LSPs. I will give you the examples also. So the person who is bringing the truck to your premise and getting it delivered to other, who is owning the transport vehicle, who is owning that transportation, would be the carrier. It would be calling the carrier. Now there can be the multiple carriers. Okay, so it's not like that only single carrier you will be getting it. There can be a carrier. There would be, especially when we go into the different, like for the roads, working into the different states and different region, specific carrier would be working. Okay, and if you're working into the different region, if you're working into the transportation onto the south, they are the different carriers. If you're working into the north, they are the different carriers. If you're talking about road, there will be different specific carriers who own the road transportation. If it need to send through train, there would be a specific carrier for that. If you need to send it through ocean, there would be a specific carrier for that. If you need to send it through air, we have a different airlines, right? Who can also take the passenger from one place to another place, and they can also have a cargo facilities also, right? We also have a separate cargo terminal, so you can also send it through air. So when it coming to the air, you will be sending through an airline. Now that airline will become a carrier for you. Okay, so we have a specialized carrier into the different legs, into the different regions. Even within a single region also, there would be a multiple carriers who can work on. Now you are a company and you want to send your goods from US to India, right? So there would be a road would be included. There would be in between, if you're sending it through the ocean, ships will be included. Then again, in India, another carrier would be included who would be shipping doing the final leg. So in the multiple leg shipments, there would be multiple different carriers would be involved. Now, you as a company, you will say that, boss, I need to produce my good and I need to sell it, right? So I cannot have a different contracts with different carriers. I need someone who would be handling those contracts and who would be actually helping me that, okay, they would be selecting the carrier. They are the 10 carriers available who can help me to shift from Bangalore to Chennai. So which one is the best one, which will be providing me the better rates? I need some another helps, right? So that's the place where basically the another terminology comes in. Which terminology comes in? The another terminology which comes in here is your freight forwarder. Here also we have a different terminology. We have a freight forwarder, we have a freight broker, okay, and we have a freight provider. Multiple different terminologies are there. Now, this can also be confusing. In some places, they would be calling carrier as a freight forwarder and freight forwarder as a carrier. I say that business to business, countries to countries, this terminology, this definition can change. Okay. I'm just telling you the standard generic terminology. Okay. But make sure that when you're working, check it that particular business, what do they mean? Okay. Now, what is going to happen? These freight forwarder would be a consolidators. Okay. Listen carefully. Okay. Otherwise you will lose. These freight forwarder would be a consolidator of the information. They would be having a contract with these different carriers. Okay, they would be having a freight contract. They would be having a contract from these different carriers. They have already contract, they have already negotiated prices, and they would be having a contract with the shipper. So rather than we are having a contract with the multiple carriers, we say that I would be having my contract with the freight forwarder, and freight forwarder would be having a contract with multiple carriers and negotiated price with the multiple carriers. So freight forwarder generally they also can have their own transportation, but generally they don't have all the transportation owned by them. Transportations are owned by carriers. They have a good network of carrier with the simulated information with them that what are the capabilities available, what are the capacities available, which route they work on, and what kind of rates can be provided by them. That is managed by the freight provider or freight forwarder. So we would be having a contract with freight forwarder, we're giving it to a single freight forwarder, and we'll say that, okay, boss, now it's your responsibility. It's a 3 lakh shipment, road, ship, road, ocean, road. So you decide which carriers, and then you give me the best rate, and you handle with those carriers. I handle with you. Okay. So there would be a contract between me and the freight forwarder, and freight forwarder would be having a separate contracts with the carrier. That is where the freight forwarders comes into the picture. Now, let me ask you the third terminology. You need to tell me over the chat. Who is LSP? Then the another terminology comes is LSP. Don't tell me, Parminder, LSP, you don't know. Logistics service provider, as simple as that. Don't give me that answer that I know, right? But what do the LSP would be having extra? How, my main question is how LSP would be different than the freight forwarder? That's my question. Quickly on the chat. Quickly on the chat. How LSP would be different than the freight forwarder. Some people said LSP is a third-party logistics. Okay, makes sense. They will do the shipping with their resources. No idea. Very good way. I like that. No idea. So when you type no idea, immediately your brain get activated to get some information. Okay, that recharge comes in your brain when you type no idea. No idea is a beautiful idea to put it there, right? So your mind is blank. It is fully ready to absorb the information. And when you put those action with the fingers, your brain get activated more. So if you don't know, put no idea. Don't hesitate by putting no idea. Yeah. LSP that provides transportation services and its own and it owned by them. Now, again, I will not conflict with anything which you are mentioning, because as I said, different regions, different countries, different business can have a different definition. I would like to know the generic definition of the logistics service provider. It's logistics service provider. Okay. There's a thin line between the freight forwarder and the LSP. Okay. This another terminology which one of you has also mentioned. This is also called third party logistics. What additionally, I would just tell you the what freight forwarder had, the same thing LSP can also have. LSP can have additional things, extra things is that they also own warehouses. Okay, now you want to make sure that your product reach faster to your customers. So you don't only need the transports, you also want certain goods to be stored near your hubs like Chennai. You want to store it near Chennai, and you don't want to put your own warehouse. So you can take a help from logistics service provider. They can give you the transports, and even they can store their they also have a warehouses where they can store your product, and from there they can deliver it ahead. Okay, so they have actually more services. They can also give you the warehouse services. And logistics service provider are the bigger companies compared to the freight forwarder. So what logistics service provider does now, you need to send it from here, let's say the 4 cases, right? If you send a truck for 4 cases, does not make sense, right? Okay, but logistic service providers are connected with the multiple shippers. So a LSP would be taking it from the multiple different manufacturing plant from the different companies. They would be bringing it, the things into a truck, and they will be making a full truckload, and they would be delivering to their customers different places, or they will store in their warehouse. In their warehouse also, they can have a 20 different segments where they are storing 20 different companies product together and managing the shipment for that. So LSP, you can think about, it's a bigger company. Okay, that's what you can think about. LSP is a bigger company who can provide you more services. Okay, and LSP would be connected with so many different companies to make sure they get the material from them, they optimize the shipment. So here, when we talk about the shipper scenario, we are talking about I need to send as a company, right? And I need to optimize my shipment. When we talk about LSP scenario, LSP need to bring the things from the 10 different shippers, and then it need to send it to the 20 different customers. So it has to do the bigger role. So it is bringing from 10 different companies shipment and sending it together to a single company. Those are the LSPs. I hope with that definition, it would be clear. The generic definition would be clear. I have taken a little longer time what I expected. Any generic question you have, you can ask us. Okay. Who entirely manages the logistics planning, either by own or other distribution partner? Okay, that's the answer. What is the difference between freight forwarder and LSP? I hope, Arvind, you got it. That's what I have explained. The LSP would be having more functionality, more services would be there. Let's say the warehouse services can also be there with the LSP. LSP can combine the shipments from the multiple companies. They would be consolidating the shipments from the multiple companies together, and they can ship it to the customers. Nikhil has a question. What is the difference between LSP and 4PL? So Nikhil, first you tell me what is 4PL. Then I will tell you the difference. Okay, over the chat, you first tell me what is 4PL. So are we saying LSP a consolidation point? LSP can be a consolidation point, right? Not for a shipper. It's not a consolidation point for a shipper. LSP a consolidation point for a shipment, overall shipments for LSP. LSP do the consolidation from the different companies. Nitin is asking real world example of a carrier company. Good question, Nitin. I would be answering it through this. I have all the examples mentioned it here. So we'll be going through that. Okay. Now I'm telling you that there can be a little difference between the between the logistics service provider, freight forwarder, and carrier. Some cases they can overlap with each other. One region, they have a more thing. They have a warehouses also. They can, in one particular region, one company is working as LSP. In another region, they are already handling the transportation, so they are working as a carrier. These kind of things you can find it out where the companies is having an overlap in the different region countries and with these definitions. So freight forwarder, we'll be starting with the freight forwarder. What are the examples for the freight forwarder? APT Logistics, Airborne International, Seal Freight. These are the examples of the real-time companies who work as a freight forwarder. Okay. We talk about LSP. What are the examples of LSP? Okay. DHL, GXO Logistics, okay, DHL supply chain is also example of your LSP, logistics service provider. Carrier, what are the real-time examples for the carrier? ABC India, all airlines are the carriers. SCR Industries, Cochin Shipyard, SR Shipyard. So they particularly handles the shipping part of it. So these are the real-time example of a carrier. Freight forwarder examples I have also given. Okay, freight forwarder, carrier, and LSP. All three examples, real-time examples I have given. There can be hundreds of more than that. You can Google it. Okay. Okay. Relationships. Okay, let's talk about the relationship. What would be the relationship? Although I have already talked, but have a quick eye on that. So your freight forwarder, so you here, this is my plant consigner, and this is my customer as a consignee. Okay. I would be having a freight forwarder contract as a company. If you are implementing for a shipper, if you're implementing SAP TM for shipper, you would be having a freight forwarder contract with the freight forwarder, and there would be a purchase contract that consignee would be giving a purchase order to you, and you would be punching that purchase order in your system as a sales order. So PO sales order, this relationship would be there. Consignee would be giving a purchase order, and you would be having a sales order in your system. With freight forwarder, there would be a freight contract, which in system can be created as a contract, and a purchase order, service PO, service purchase order you would be having in system with the freight forwarder to take that services. The freight forwarder would be having a separate contract as a freight contract with this carrier. If you are implementing for a shipper scenario, this would not be in our system. In our system, sales order would be there, purchase order would also not be there, just a reference. Purchase order would be there as a reference, sales order would be there, and then delivery and other things, and the service PO would be there with the freight. That is the legs which we'll be having it. Okay. What kind of different contracts we have? We have a purchase contracts, freight contracts, and freight forwarder contracts. I hope you got all of these terminology clear here. This is a freight contract. Between a freight forwarder and carrier is a freight contract. Freight forwarder and a consignor is a freight forwarder contract. Okay. Loads also you need to understand. There can be a full truckload, less than truckload, full container load, less than container load. Container, generally we use it specifically when we need to send it the shipment overseas. In overseas, in a ship, there are the containers, right? That is called container, how we ship it. Now we are always interested that if my load is full truckload, I can use my transportation, or I can use a specific transportation where I'm getting a better rate for a full truckload. If what I need to send it is less than a truckload, I need to use another freight provider who would be consolidating, or I can use a LSP who would be consolidating my truckload with another company truckload to give me the better rates. Okay, so that is the full truckload or a less than truckload. Just to give you example, people are very confused. Now this is a truck, and in this truck you can see in the center there is a coil, steel coil, and this is a 20-ton steel coil which this truck is carrying. Okay, at the center this space is empty, this space is empty. It's carrying a 20-ton steel coil. Whether it is called a full truckload or less than truckload, only this much of space is carried. This is empty, this is empty. A 20-ton steel coil is there, okay, which is carrying just 20% part of the truck. Rest truck is empty. Is it a full truckload, or is a part truckload, or less than truckload? FTL, LTL, FTL, LTL, both answers are there. Now, generally in India, the truck's capacities are 20 tons. Okay, there are more than that also can be there. There is less than that also. So generally the capacity, the load capacity is 20 ton. Although the space is available, but as per the load which is carrying it, it has completed its full truckload. So it's a 20 ton. So truckload is always into the two respectives, the volume and the weight. If the weight is full, the truckload is full. If the volume is full, the truckload is full. Okay, so this is a full truckload. And even there can be a truck has a capacity of 20 ton, and it is carrying some cases where you are shipping some cotton products, some pharma products, and its total weight is only 5 ton, but it is fully completed as per the volume. Still, it will call the full truckload, because from the volume perspective, it's a full truckload. Okay. Same thing, rather than truck, it would be the container. So that definition would be for the container, FCL, LCL. Now let's talk about the different shipment types. I have already talked about, but I will be quickly telling you so that you are aware. Single leg shipment we have talked about, one truck is going from my premises to the customer. That's a single leg shipment. We can have a multi-leg shipment. Multi-leg shipment is where basically more than one carrier would be involved. So you have from here road to the shipment yard. From shipment yard, it will be going in the container to the ship, and then again road. So the multiple legs are there, multiple mode of transports, and multiple different carriers are used. That is called the multi-leg shipment. Okay, direct shipment is also called that your vendor is directly sending it to the customer and you are arranging a transport for that. That is terminology also used for the direct shipments. Milk runs are there. Multi-carrier shipment, I have explained that the multi-leg shipment, if a single carrier is doing, it's a single carrier multi-leg shipment. But generally in the multi-leg shipment, we also have a multiple carrier involved. That's called the multi-carrier shipments. What is the difference between single leg shipment and direct shipment? So direct shipment, okay, both can be same also, but I will tell you in some industries what it is used. This is your company, your plant. This is your vendor, and this is your customer. Vendor, customer, and this is your plant. There are some products which you get it from vendor, which you produce it here and give it to your customer. But there are some customer products which you just buy and sell. So you just buy from here and sell it. So rather than doing this, you can directly get it sent. You can get a truck arrange who can do a direct shipment, who can take directly from vendor and send it directly to this customer. So this scenario, when it comes, this is generally called direct shipment. Again, different companies, different industry, different region, the definition can be different. Some places you will find that this is also business is calling as a direct shipment. Okay. Now, what is a milk run? Milk run is what generally what you have, that if you have your plant and you have DC1, DC2, DC3. So you have your truck which goes from DC1, it carry whatever the product it has been produced, everything will be carried in a truck. And every 2 hours, the truck will be dispatched, or every shift, one truck will dispatch. It will go to DC1, unload the product there. Then it will go to DC2. Then it will go to DC3. The empty truck will come here. And then that will take 2 to 3 hours. And in next shift, again, it would be loaded. Again, it will go. So we are doing the multiple things, these things again and again. So this is called milk run. That every morning you would be having on your doorbell will ring and the milkman will come, right? And he would be coming every morning at the same time. So that is called the milk run concept. So some deliveries you would be managing as a milk run. So these are called the milk run shipments, okay, which would be doing every day, same time with this, generally with the same truckload, it would be happening again. With consumer-based products, this is quite common. When the direct shipment has a multi-leg scenario, we call it as a the scenario we call is as a direct scenario, direct sales scenario, but it would be calling a multi-leg shipment. Okay. So this terminology is based on the scenario and based on the businesses we are using, can tweak a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now you understand. Sorry, Satish and Sunny, I'm taking a little longer Thank you for staying on here. Okay. Anyone has any question on the generic terminology? I have not switched to SAP now. Now I will be jumping into what is SAP TM. But anyone has any generic terminology, generic question from the terminology, you can feel free to ask me. What terminology can be used for Blue Dart or DTDC? So Sunil, again, the Blue Dart and DTDC, you try to fit on the definitions. Do Blue Dart provide you the warehouses also where you can store it? If that is the case, it would be fitting into the logistics service providers. In the different regions, the terminology can be changed for them. So DTDC is a very good for a freight forwarder. They provide the freights. You can just book a DTDC shipments. They will come, they will collect it, they will combine it, and in the multiple regions, they can also work as a LSP. So Blue Dart DTDC would be fitting into the definition of in between of the freight forwarder and the LSP, because in a certain region, I know that DTDC also has the warehouses also. Blue Dart, I'm not sure whether they own the warehouses. Okay, let's proceed ahead. Now I'm jumping into the what is SAP TM? Okay, what are the different products we have in SAP TM? So SAP TM is having a multiple different products. So SAP started with their SCM solution. They were having a product called SCM TPVS, transportation planning and vehicle scheduling. That's a failure product. I have not personally have not seen any company who has adopted it, but there are companies who has implemented TPVS, but that was not very successful product. SAP understood that, and that's where basically in this leg of transportation planning, SAP is not a flagship product. Okay, generally when we called about the ERP system, SAP is a flagship runner. SAP stays on the top. But for transportation management, SAP is not at the top. I'm not here to sell SAP TM, right? So what I will tell you what are the facts, or what I will tell you what at least what I know with best of my knowledge. So SCM TPVS was a failure. That's where basically SAP lagged behind with the other competitors, where OTMs, Blue Yonders developed their TM, which was much better than the SCM, much better than SCM TPVS. SAP understood that the TPS will not work. Then they switched to a new product. Then they started with the new product as SAP TM. They took a longer time. By the time their competitor went ahead, TM and the Blue Yonder went ahead, right? So then later on, SAP comes with the TM, then they come with embedded TM also. I will talk about the different products. But apart from the SAP TPVS, SAP also come in ECC, we are having LE, logistics execution. LE is there in ECC. It is also there in S4HANA. That's the shipment module. We create the delivery, and after the delivery, we can create a shipment. Okay, that shipment, it has a limited module. It allows you to combine multiple deliveries to one shipment and to do the shipment. But these kind of scenarios does not allow to optimize your shipments. Okay, optimization of the shipment is not available. If you want to combine a shipment between vendor and customer both, that is also not straight away available. There are additional developments and other things you need to do if you want to get it done. So that was a limited module which is there in SAP LE, that you can create a shipment, but you cannot optimize a shipment. Then SAP come with the SAP TM, which was a standalone, where basically we are having a ECC and we need to connect. ECC is our basic SAP system, and we need to connect ECC with the TM. That was a standalone TM. When S4HANA came, they will come up with the more simplification. They said, why I need to use two systems? Although standalone TM would also be a scenario which would be used. But the question came, why do I need to use two systems? Why don't I combine both of them? Why don't in the same S4HANA or ECC, I have an embedded system? So ECC work on the traditional database system, which cannot take that much of load. But S4HANA has a more capability from HANA as a database point of view. That's where you will see that a lot of things get embedded now in S4HANA. So S4HANA SAP come with S4HANA embedded TM. So standalone TM was working like this, that you have a still a lot of people would be going with standalone TM, which was earlier it was on SCM box, and you need to have connect both of them with SAP core interface. Okay. The good thing is that you can have a multiple ECC or ERP systems, or you can also have S4HANA system, and then you can connect with this. Okay, if you want to optimize your transportation for the two different systems, so some companies would be having in their landscape, they have a multiple systems, but their shipment can go together. From two different systems, if you want to combine, then you need to go with standalone team. Okay, this is a scenario you need to handle. But you say that, boss, I'm having, this is my product and all of my product into the single box as for HANA. Why I need to put a separate system? Why I need to have a SIF? The people who has worked into this standalone scenario, even though have their single system, they understand how difficult it is to handle SIF. There are a lot of errors. There are a lot of things which will be failing, stucking in the SIFs, which you need to monitor it and get it cleared. A lot of pain is there, a lot of pain. And there would be specific consultant who would be put it onto a shifts only to monitor it, that there's no issues happening in the SIF. Then with S4HANA, SAP said that, okay, this is your S4HANA system. I have an embedded TM. TM is included in it. I need not to have a separate system. I need not to have a SIF. There would be some internal SIF, but very simplified. Okay. So that comes with the embedded TM, where the TM is coming. Technically, it is on the same product. Now, embedded TM has two scenarios. It has a base in basic shipping is also there. Okay, and it has a professional shipping. So this is how the two different licensing is there. Okay, you have a basic shipping license and you can also have a professional shipping license. So what is the difference? Now there was a LDTRA was there, right? Where the shipment module is there. So this shipment module is also available in S4HANA, but SAP is saying that 2025 onwards, after that, they're stopping the support for the shipment module, LDTRA support they are stopping. So the people who has implemented ECC in ECC, they have a shipment module, they are coming with S4HANA, what they should be using it. So for them, they said, okay, if you are interested in the same functionality of the shipment module, with the existing S4HANA license, it comes with the basic shipping. So your existing S4HANA license comes with the basic shipping, where you can do the basic transportation planning. Basically here, it would be the manual planning. The automated planning would not be available, and your optimization would not be available in the basic shipping. In the advanced transportation shipping, the automated planning and your optimization would be available in advance. So for this part, you need to pay, although it is embedded, but you need to pay extra license cost. Separate infrastructure is not required, but to use this, you need to pay extra license cost to SAP. Okay. There's a quick comparison here. We'll be going into the detailed training also. So the quick comparison is there between the tools. Okay, if you want to have a quick eye on them, there would be a lot of terminology which will be coming in your mind. Don't worry, when we go into the detailed trainings, everything step by step will be clarified. So you can see that the basic shipping is having a very little functions, and advanced TM is having almost all of the functions. So you will see that what are the function LETRA was having, that function has been activated in basic shipping. So our training would be covering both basic shipping and advanced TM. Both would be covered in our training. Okay. So if you want to check the curriculum, my team would be sending a link, or you can click on the link. You will be going into the product and you will be able to check the curriculum. Now we have LETRA versus TM. Okay. So that is also there. We have a lot of blogs in TM related. If you go to our website, you will see a lot of blogs related to TM. So there we have also do the comparison that what was LETRA and what was not TM. I have already said few words that you cannot combine vendor and customer shipments in LETRA, but in SAP TM you would be able to do. LETRA, you cannot do the optimization, but SAP TM you would be able to do. SAP Advanced Transportation Planning you would be able to do. So yes, extra license cost would be there for embedded TM if you're using advanced TM functionality, if you're advanced shipping functionality. If you're using basic shipping, TM is included and you can use it for basic shipping. If you are using advanced functions, which is coming under the advanced shipping, you need to pay extra license cost to SAP. Now, what are the competitors? Okay, SAP TM is the one. Oracle TM, Blue Yonder TMS, Mercury Gate TMS, Transplace TMS. These are the multiple TMS systems available, which also can integrate it with ECC with additional development, or with SAP S/4HANA system with additional development. Now, which one is the flagship runner out of it? Which one is the most used transport management system? SAP TM, Oracle TM, Blue Yonder TMS, Mercury Gate TMS, or Transplace TMS? Answers on the chat window, and everyone need to give it. Which one is the most used transport management system right now? Not sure. OTM, Oracle Transport Management, OTM, OTM. Yes, you are right. If you see the 10 years ago scenario, OTM is a clear flagship runner. Okay, you can also go with the Gartner's compatibility of and under this at which software has been provided. So OTM is a clear flagship runner 10 years ago, right? The difference between OTM and SAP was huge in the transportation planning. But now still the OTM is a flagship runner. If you will identify the customers and the usage, the most usage transport management product is OTM. But SAP is the two companies which is getting it accelerated. If I will say that the increase wise, the number of customer increase in last 5 years, that is Blue Yonder. Second is SAP TM. Third is Oracle Transport. So with embedded S/4HANA TM, the SAP's share is increasing. Okay, because earlier the people who was hesitating to go for TM because this is so complicated, separate product, SIF, so many extra resources are required to maintain the extra infrastructure and to maintain the SIF. So customer were hesitant. Now customer is more adopting because it is part as an embedded. They need to only pay the extra license cost, and the SIF is also simplified. So with that, SAP's market share is increasing, but still at the top, it says the OTM, SAP is number 2, and Blue Yonder is number 3. Blue Yonder is increasing very rapidly. Same way, the SAP TM is also after the embedded TM come, embedded S/4HANA TM come, it's increasing rapidly. Its usage is increasing rapidly. Who should learn SAP TM? If you are SAP SD expert, MM expert, basically if you know any of one of the basic modules, right? SD, MM, inventory management, if you are already in SAP and you want to cross train, you can freely select this module. Not a problem. Okay, you can freely select your product. Who can directly jump into TM? If you are a SAP TM end user, or if you are already working into the transportation planning and you're using, maybe you're using OTM, you're using Blue Yonder TMS system or another TMS system you're working, and you have a very strong experience, then you can directly learn the SAP TM. Otherwise, if you don't have a strong domain experience, you don't have a transport management handling as an end user experience, we suggest you first learn SAP SD and then TM. If you have a deep experience in logistics execution, if you are SAP TM core user, you can go ahead and learn. Anyone who's having another module experience, you can learn. TM has a lot of requirements, and SD plus TM is creating wonders in the jobs. You will be getting a lot of much more capabilities, much more jobs opportunities if you combine SD plus TM or MM plus EWM, even also work better. I would be discussing what is vehicle to success. In this part, I would be explaining you that what are the things we are including in this training, right? So we will be having a lot of things. We'll be giving you recorded session. There would be a live session. There would be system hands-on session over the weekends. There would be these kind of Monday morning sessions would be there. There would be a lot of assignments would be given. S/4HANA 2021 system access would be given. Okay, we'll be giving you some additional products also, complementary products to increase your knowledge into like Fiori. Okay, A to Z Fiori for functional consultant also will provide you. So a lot of things will be coming into a bundle if you're going with the bundle access, right? But that I would be explaining later at the end because I have another two people waiting for me to finish, and Satish and Sunny. They want to take you into the system and show one scenario quickly in the system. Okay, but before they show the scenario, let me show you the now what is the process happen in system. So when we'll be showing this scenario, a lot of people you would not be able to maybe link, and you will feel it's complicated because right now we are straight away showing you one scenario in the system, and if you are not familiar with the screens, it can look little complicated with you. Okay, but I want to give you exposure that how the things happen in system. It's just not a theoretical part we want to cover, right? So we'll be doing one scenario in system here, basically from SAP SD. The linkage would be there with the SAP TM, and the linkage would be there with MM module. These three linkages we want to quickly show from the transaction perspective. My team would be sharing a link if you want to go to the detailed curriculum. We have a detailed curriculum you can see on our website. My team is sharing a link. It is a teachable product link. You can go through it and check what are the different topics will be covered in the training. And I would be covering quickly this scenario. So basically, this is a shipper scenario, okay? And my customer has given me purchase order. And with this purchase order, I have created a sales order in the system. Okay, that's what we do. This is a transaction also mentioned. We create a sales order. And after the sales order creation, we will be creating a delivery document. Now, there's two things happens. If you go with the LETRA, only with delivery, you can create a shipment. Actually, you can also directly create from sales order also, you can create your freight planning and the freight units you would be able to create it. Okay. So, but here in this scenario, we'll be creating a sales order. From sales order, there would be delivery created. Against this delivery, we do the picking, PGIs would be happening. And from this delivery, we'll be creating a freight units. A lot of additional terminology will also be introduced here, but just stay on. When we jump into the detailed training, everything step by step, we have a detailed presentation from Satish just to explain you what is freight unit. Okay, so stay on into the live training session and into the recorded training videos, which will be starting from the coming weekend, and everything would be explained in detail. So with this delivery documents, we'll be creating a freight unit. So this is the first integration point between your SD and TM. Okay, this is how TM get integrated with SD. With delivery, the freight units will get created. Based on this freight units, we'll be doing a freight planning. Okay, with the freight planning, your freight order would be generated. Okay, in this freight order, you would be having that what is the cost, who is the freight provider, all the details would be there in the freight order. You can compare this with shipment. If you have worked in ECC, you can compare the freight order with the shipment. Earlier we were having a shipment, now we'll be having a freight order. Then you will be doing a picking and PGI for the deliveries, you will be doing it. Proof of deliveries, you can do it. This is the optional steps. And you can also raise your customer invoice. So this part is linked to delivery to the customer. Then in this freight provider, a truck has been arranged and a carrier has provided and delivered the product to the customer. Okay, and he has done the execution. So once he has done the execution, we'll be having a freight settlement document. This freight settlement document, earlier in ECC, we were having shipment cost document. You can compare with the shipment cost document. Okay, so we'll be having a freight settlement document which will be created. Against this freight settlement document, we would be paying to this guy. who has given us the freight forwarder. We need to pay to freight forwarder, right? To pay to the freight forwarder, what we require in system, if we are paying, we are taking service. So we need a service PO. So service PO would be created, and against the service PO, there would be a service entry sheet would be there. And against this, there would be a vendor invoice, which would be created, and then we'll be having a payment. So it would be having a buying in TM. We have a, apart from the logistic execution, we have a selling leg is involved and buying leg is also involved, because we are buying services, and to pay to the to pay to our freight forwarder, we need some evidence in the system. That evidence in the systems come from the freight settlement document. Is the evidence, okay, this services has been given, and based on the freight settlement document with the automated runs, service PO and service entry sheet can be created automatically. I'm not sure whether in our system today it is getting created, because yesterday team was facing some issue there. So whatever the scenario we can show in the system right now, we'll try to show it, but I'm not sure whether the service PO and service entry sheet are getting created. And then vendor invoice would be happening, and then payment would be happening. So there are two invoices: customer invoice to get the payment from the customer, vendor invoice to give the payment to the vendor, right? So this is the scenario we'll try to show you in the system. Okay, so I would be stopping here, and then I would be handing it over to Satish and Sunny, who would be taking it first. Satish, can you raise your hand? So
Yeah.
that...
Yes.
Okay. You would be sharing a screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me share my screen.
Before Satish, you start, let me introduce you. So Satish is having more than 20 years of experience in SAP. He has worked into the multiple different products. He has worked SD, MM. He has worked as a program manager, project manager. He's handling the transportation related product in SAP TM. Also, he's working on for quite a long time. So he is a freelancer who provides the trainings, as well as he do the freelancing SAP TM project. And then I will also introduce you Sunny. So Sunny is also working for quite some time in SAP TM now, and Sunny is having a very strong domain knowledge on SAP TM. Okay, so he is actually worked into the logistics side for so many years, and then he learned SAP SD, then he learned SAP TM, and for last few years he's working on SAP TM, right? So they both also would be included in the training. Satish would be handling the Saturday sessions, and Sunny would be handling the Sunday session. Any interaction you want to do with me, you can do on the Monday session. Okay, Satish, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Parminder. And let me take you into the system. But before that, I think Parminder has very clearly explained this scenario. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, Satish, we can. We do.
Okay, right.
We can see your
screen. Sure. So this is beautifully explained. So I'll not go into this. And so basically, so when we talk about say scenario, what is the scenario from transportation management end-to-end perspective? So they are sort of divided into two systems, right? So one is the S/4HANA system, which you can see here right on the top. So you have sales order, you have delivery, and the invoice related stuff and the accounting part. So accounting part is always done in the S/4HANA side. It's not done in the the TM side. So this portion of it is from S/4HANA, whereas this portion is in the TM side. So what happens in TM side? So you have freight unit, freight orders, and then service entry, and then the invoicing. So this part of invoice is payment to the customer. This part of it is payment to the customer, whereas this part is payment to the carrier or the vendor, the one who has provided the transport service. So this is the a visual of the transportation activities in two systems at a very high level. Okay. Now let's take a very simple scenario without taking too much of your time. So let me just get into the system, and I think it is open already. Okay. So, uh, so let me just take you into the system, and then let's start with, say, the sales order creation. So in this, let me pick up the standard order, and then I'll take a quick reference, avoiding the typing and all that stuff. So let me take an order reference of a document, copy all the parameters that are related, necessary for the sales order. And of course, you have this part. Our master data has to be created, customer master and all that stuff. And you have the reference and all. Okay, let me just quickly pick this up. Yeah. Now, well, I have the material. So material master needs to be there. It should be in place. So all of these, creation recordings and all those things are there with us in the, in the teachable sections. And then we have the order quantity. Now, let me quickly do one thing here, is basically to, what do you call, go to header, and then go to shipping. Just redetermine a shipping condition. I just wanted to, this is how we have changed from standard to transport service, because shipping condition, you change it to transport service. So what happens is it redetermines the activities related to transport condition, which is fine. And then there is another, just have a quick check. Normally it is good to do this kind of a quick check. So let us go here and then see whether we have our plant and shipping point intact. Yes, we have this intact. So these are primarily things, but otherwise, you will also need to check your, okay, I mean, charges would have come already. So, so that's all fine, these aspects. And schedule lines. Schedule lines are also okay. This is also perfect. So now let us close this. And typically what happens is, if you look at the sales order in the overview, this is the overview screen. And here you have all these tabs. One, two, all these tabs are there. So there is going to be, there is supposed to be one more tab for transportation TM status. If in case you are generating freight units while you are processing a sales order itself, when you process a sales order, you would like freight units to be generated, for example. So freight units get generated for these quantities. Okay. In that case, what happens is once you save the sales order, there will be a small tab which comes here. And then that gives you some data related to the creation of freight units, right? In this case, what we did actually is to generate it in delivery, as Parminder was saying. So we could also do this for this. It's just a matter of configuration. So what we'll do is that we'll check if everything is okay. Let's do a quick incompletion log, and everything seems fine. So we'll just save it. So we have 588 as our document sales order. Then we'll go to VS02, and then we'll so 588, and we'll try to create. You see, you don't find it here. Otherwise, if you would have come in the sales order change mode, you typically would have found TM status here with the freight units. But then we will do it in the delivery. So now I am into the delivery, outbound delivery. And okay, sales location, this can be automatically determined, but okay, you can just enter it here. And then see, I'm just picking all the quantity. I'm picking all the 100 quantities, whatever are the quantities. Otherwise, you can also pick, different quantities depending upon when the customer wants to be delivered. Like, the customer might say, it might be, you might use scheduling agreements and all that stuff also. But let's keep it simple here. We have picked up all the 100, but then the customer might say that, look, do one thing, you just pack it into 4 different make it into 4 different packages and deliver it to me. That means then I can say that, okay, fair enough. So I'll do 4 freight units and then I'll ship it to you. So let us see how these things are getting broken into smaller pieces or something like that. So now, so we have done the picking, and then for now we don't worry about these things, and then we don't have to do a goods issue as well at this point. So we will simply save this delivery, and then we'll just make a note of the delivery number. Okay, so we have 80,000. Okay, now let us go and see what is the status of freight units. So let us go. See here, you got this TM status tab, which is coming here by virtue of some integration, SAP TM integration, which we have configured. Now let us click on this and then see. See, there is this delivery. For this delivery, it has used some control key, some control key and its associated configurations. By virtue of those control key and associated configurations, it has generated freight units. Now, if you see in this document flow, you will see the freight units which have been generated, and it picks up, for the material. It has divided the 100 quantity into, a lot of 25. So that is what it has done. So why it has done?
Hi, Satish. Sorry, your voice little bit got lower in between. Maybe you can come
Okay.
to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, better, much better now. Thank you.
But okay, fair. So what I was saying is that the breaking of this freight 100 quantity freight units into smaller chunks is done due to some configuration, due to some rules, freight unit building rules and all that we'll see later on. So there we have mentioned that please divide this quantity of this particular customer or so when he asks for it into so many units. So there are certain rules which can be applied that we can see later on. But then right now we have 4 freight units. So 4-1, as you can see here, this is the freight unit number 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 5, 4, 5, 5, 6 and 5, 7. So we have 4 freight units, which now the customer. So let's process all the 4 for now, just to see how they get processed in a freight order. So now what do we have? We have freight unit. So we have a sales order, we have a delivery, and we have a freight unit. And typically, forget about transportation management for now. If in case you would like to continue just on only the product side, then you end up in invoicing and then collect money from the customer. So that's a normal process. But then we took a route, another route. We got into the freight unit generation, and then therefore the next thing what we need to do is that we need to have these freight units handed over to a carrier. And then you should plan with him, and you need a vehicle and all that kind of stuff. So you need, for that purpose, something called a freight order. So freight order is something which you process in Fiori. You need a, sorry. Okay, so in Fiori, you will process the freight order. Now, there are multiple ways of processing the freight order. You could do it, by inserting the freight units into the freight order, or you could process the freight units through a selection profile into the, using selection profile, planning profile, and using transportation cockpit, and then processing it. So there are multiple ways of doing it. For now, let us keep it simple and let us, insert into the freight order, and then we will process. So when we get into the normal training sessions, you will see the configuration of selection profile, and then configuration of planning profile, and all the building blocks of selection profile, building blocks of planning profile, and then how do you configure the transportation layout, and then how you process, create a freight order in the transportation, in the freight, what do you call it, transportation cockpit, and then, proceed to the freight settlement. So that we will see in a separate this thing. So here we are going to see a create, we'll pick up a road freight order. So you can have road freight order or ocean freight order, or different rail freight orders. So we'll say we create a road freight order. So when we create a road freight order, like similarly, like the way you have a sales order, OR and LF and all that, right? So similarly, for freight order also, you have a freight order document type, and there are a lot of configurations which go behind this, which are long list of configurations, which we have to manage and maintain. So we'll use 1000, and yeah. So we have selected 1000 document type, and the first thing what we do when we are manually inserting is that obviously we don't have to focus on any of these. We simply have to go to items, because our items are our freight units, right? The one which you are generated. So we'll click on this items, and then what we are supposed to do, the term which we should search here is insert, because that is what we want to do. We have the items, and we want to insert, and we say insert freight units based on freight unit. So because what we have created is freight unit ID, isn't it? So that's what we choose, and then simply what we do here is we just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 5, 4, right? So 2454 is our freight unit, and what I'll do is quickly copy this. Yeah, let's just make these changes very easy for me to 5, 6, and then 7. So these are the 4 freight units which we created in delivery. So while processing delivery, 100 units got split into 4 different freight units. So I'm using all the 4 for now. So you can use 2 now, 2 later, depending upon the delivery requirements and all that kind of stuff. So this is how you insert this, and then all the details, whatever freight units you have inserted, all those information is available, the quantity and all that stuff. Now we'll go to general data. A couple of things we need to do here, and obviously you need a some transport, means of transport. So we'll use a truck. So some configuration has been done behind this resource master. In resource master, for this means of transportation, there's a truck which is available. That's why it is going to process. Otherwise, if you don't have a vehicle assigned to a means of transportation, you'll not be able to process a freight order. So that's one thing. And the cargo weight is it picks up from the the delivery and all. And most important thing, what you need to ensure, so this is a document type which you can see here, is the carrier. So carrier is the one which you have to have to choose to determine in the freight order. So we'll use TM22 carrier. So, this is important, executing carrier and all that. Certain other data can be given, but for now that's not required. So mode of transportation is road. That's why we have picked up this vehicle and all, truck basically. Then One of the most important thing which is required in a freight order is, apart from the carrier, this carrier, and then the vehicle related, whether it is means of transportation or the capacity, and then this one mode of transportation, road. Most important information is your organization data. So here you need to give a company code. Now the company code, what you give here, is basically in a different form. I mean, well, for example, you just choose this option, then it will list the company codes. But the company codes typically in S4HANA, there will be in this notation. Object notation will be like, 4 digits like this, right? But whereas here in TM side, you have the organization ID in numeric form in something like this. So this is by virtue of the legacy of having, a standalone system and earlier architecture, database architecture, and so on and so forth. So it is continuing for now. Maybe in future they may take out all these things and then just have the same object. But for now, we need to ensure that we have the organization procuring company code ID from TM standpoint. This is from the TM. So what happens is this ID recognizes the procuring company code in the S4 side. So that is something which we need to do the configuration. Then purchasing organization, you can just choose a purchasing organization. So in this case, TM22, let us choose this. And then purchasing group also you can choose. So these information are important, and this will be a part of organization entities integration between S4HANA and TM. So that is something which we will see later on in the session. So there are other optional stuff which are there. And here you have the source and destination. I have made this change actually. Let me just make this change. So I'm just giving this TM22 shipping point. I just made some change earlier. So it is going from TM22 shipping point to TM22 customer. So this is the source. This is the destination. Now, if you see here, there is this freight order number. So freight order number is generated, so you can configure your document type stating that whether you want the order number in the beginning, or maybe when you are saving or something like that. So those things can be done. Now let me just save it and then see if things are in order or things like that. Okay, so the data has saved cost distribution, charge calculations, and all that kind of stuff. So, I will, okay, so what I'll do, I'll just stop here and probably, so Sunny, you may want to take it up from here. Sunny, are you there? Okay, looks like let me continue, and if in case Sunny comes in, then
yeah, I'm checking with Sunny. You can continue. I'm checking with Sunny.
Yeah, I'll take it. Okay, fair enough. So what happened now is that as we are doing this activity, we have saved, and the system has given some messages saying that charge calculation is done and all that kind of stuff. So there is this tab here called charge calculation. But before that, you can see like business partner. So then here you'll have a list of all business partner, the carrier, the ship to, and all that stuff, the items you have seen, and stages. So you can look at the stages from source and destination, all that kind of details are provided, document flow. Now let's look at the charges part. This is very, very important. Charge management is most important, one of the most important apart from optimization. So here, as you can see, it is calculated, and then there are some numbers appearing here. and the calculation date and so on and so forth, right? But as you come down, if you see here, you can see two charges which have been applied. One is base rate, base freight rate, and then the other one
Satish,
is
Sunny was not able to unmute. Now he is available.
oh, is there? Okay, okay, good, good.
So
Okay,
thanks,
okay.
Satish,
Sunny, no
for
problem. Sunny, I'll
showing
just
the entire process. I'll be just taking right now
Hmm,
into the
yeah.
settlement part. Okay.
Okay, I'll finish this and give it to you, Sunny.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, I'll just yeah. So I was just saying that we'll have the base rate and then surcharge. Okay. In fact, Sunny can also you can explain a little bit about the calculation sheet or something, just to walk through. Sunny, could you just walk through that part?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure,
Yeah,
Satish.
yeah. I mean, I thought it would be nice. I mean, you're an expert in that, so you can just, just it'll be nice. Basically, because the base rate takes the rate, what you call rate card, rate table, whereas the surcharge is directly we give, percentage all that. So Sunny will be able to, explain you that. And then what Sunny would do is he will take you into the what you call price settlement part and things like that. Okay. So Sunny, shall I?
Yes, yes, I'll
If
share my screen. Yeah.
you share your screen. Okay. Very good. So I'll just save this and come out of this. Its order is 242, Sunny.
All right. Thanks, Satish.
Yeah,
Give me a moment. Huh?
Okay.
Okay, it got a bit hanged.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just put the freight order for now, and let me check. And let me show you the charges part. So when we open this freight order document, so when we try to calculate the charges, some important things to understand. So we have this charge hierarchy under which we have this base rate and the surcharge rate. So base rate is the basically the basic road fee that we pay to the carrier, or the charges which is incurred by the carrier. And there is this surcharge amount. So there is a background formula of the surcharge calculation. You can maintain a formula by which the surcharge rate is being determined. So there is some determination rule in many organization, determination rule or determination formula is being applied. So in the US side, there is like a reference, a fuel index reference that is there for month by month basis. And there is fuel index also, which is maintained as a part of which is maintained in the rate table. So when the fuel index is greater than fuel index road, so fuel index reference road, in that case the surcharge gets levied on the basic road fee. So that comes the concept of surcharge. So for example, when we we book for an Uber or something, so if there is a peak demand, there is a surcharge being deducted on the normal value. So something like if the normal rate is like 200 or 300, then we have to pay for something extra 400, because at that time the demand is more and the supply is less. In that case, the surcharge gets levied on the basic transportation charges. So here also same concept. The formula is bit different. That is hard coded in the code, and it can be customized as well as per the business. So what I'll show you, so this is the basic rate, basic base rate for the road freight. So if you go here and click this line item and click on the show hide details, you can see the freight agreement as well as the calculation sheet as well as the rate table. So it's like a hierarchy. You have the agreement first, inside that you have the calculation sheet. This freight agreement is basically what the organization will have the agreement with the carriers, where the all the commercials will be maintained. And if you open the calculation sheet first, quickly, I'll just give you a look and feel of the calculation sheet, and I will also give you a quick look and feel of the rate table. So here is the calculation sheet where these rates are maintained and how these charges are determined, what kind of information, everything is been maintained tab by tab basis. In the basic data, we have the normal general data, how the charge type is maintained, and all the instructions these are required. Whatever is required is maintained here. And then we have the rate table. So this is the rate table that is also been maintained for the base rate that determines the charges, how it will be calculated. So you can see here the rate table is maintained in this calculation sheet. And if we go to the rate table, if we display this rate table, you can see the entire information on this. Whatever the parameters are maintained, these are maintained here, and these are very important. You have to know very specifically, as per the business requirement, we have to maintain this information here inside the rate table. And you can also maintain the organizational data for which organization you are using those rate tables. And there are scales. So basically here, if we go here, so how these charges has been calculated, you can see the rates are fetched here and the surcharge amount, but how these overall charges are being calculated. So you can go here and I'll show you in the general data. We have this cargo weight here, then the total weight here. So the total weight, so basically based on the weight, this rate table is using the calculation to calculate the overall charges of the freight order. You can see the gross weight is the calculation base. And when we'll be in the training, we'll be setting up these configurations on calculation base and the scale weights, everything. We'll do that step by step. So just to give you a look and feel, so basically these are the criteria based on which the charges are calculated, and this criteria is maintained here inside the rate table in the scales part, in the gross weight. So based on the gross weight, and it can also pick location wise. So there are two criteria that are being maintained. So here we have maintained for the gross weight. So these are all the scale type and the units of measure that are being shown here. And based on that, when we are calculating the charges, and based on the criteria in the rate table, the charges got calculated. Now I'll quickly edit this, and since I would like to show you the settlement part, I will quickly create the freight settlement document. So freight settlement document is the document which contains all the freight order list and the charges. So after the delivery, you have to pay to the carrier, right? So this settlement document is the sheet where you have all the information regarding the cost that we are going to pay for the services the carrier has given to the customer or the shipper. So there could be a case like, as per the settlement document, there could be disputes like whether the charges are not matching as per the carrier and whatever the charges that are showing in the settlement document. In order to settle that dispute, this is called the settlement document. So you're basically settling the payment with the carrier, and the carrier is agreeing to accept the payment. If there is a slight mismatch in the amounts or the values, which can generally happen, there could be sudden increase, or there could be like any discrepancies in updates of the charges in the rate table or in the calculation sheet or in the freight agreement. In that case, the carrier can notify. So in SAP TM, we also have this collaboration portal. So in the collaboration portal, the carrier has the access to update those values in order to settle those disputes. And based on that freight settlement document, if there is a dispute that is showing, then that freight settlement document can be updated by updating the charges in the freight order. We can change those charges and everything by maintaining the new rate tables or new calculation sheet, and then recalculate the freight order, and then create the new freight settlement documents. And finally, we can proceed for payment to the carrier. So that is a bit background of the freight settlement document. So here now I'll create this freight settlement document. So it will create a new tab, and it will show that the charge calculation is completed, it is consistent, and it is ready for accruals. Now, one thing to note, so this is important to understand, like when we'll work as a consultant in SAP TM, you'll have to be familiar with this life cycle status, which is very important in case of freight order or in case of freight settlement document. It is very important for to know the statuses of the freight units or the order based transportation requirements, OTRs, or the delivery based transportation requirements, that is DTRs. So this status will come very often. So we need to understand what kind of statuses it changes when we process a particular document. So first is the ready for accruals. So ready for accruals is something when we are creating a freight settlement document. So this is the creation stage. When it is a creation stage, the life cycle status will show us ready for accruals. So ready for accruals is, it has a number also. And this number is very like it is a standard number. For ready for accruals, it will be 02. And more you work on this freight settlement document creation and the configuration and those things, you will be more able to put these numbers on the top of the mind. So you have ready for accruals, and then you have posting started. 04 means the posted, and then so on and so forth. So this is what is showing now, ready for accruals, since we are in the creation mode. And one thing to check whether the charges are similar to that of the freight order. So we'll quickly go to the freight order and we'll check, just have checked that whether the amount is matching with the freight settlement document amount, and we can see the amount is matching, so it is validated. And you can also check which calculation date you are entering. You cannot go to the back date. You have to always put the current date. So I have checked, it is for the current date, and now I'll just save this document. So we have this freight settlement document created ending with 45. If you want to go to freight order and check, always try to check in the document flow. So in the document flow, you'll get the total history of what you are creating. So as of now, I've created freight settlement document. So I'll just quickly refresh this document. And you can see we have this freight settlement document being created, and it is in the status, the life cycle status is ready for accruals. So it is ready for accruals. It is not posted yet. So in order to post this document, we have to click on post. So I'll just post this document. And let me check the document flow again in the FSD itself. And you can see the purchase order has been generated. So now the accruals is starting to get posted. So in the statuses, you see the next status that I was showing earlier, posting started. So it has suddenly changed from 02 to 03. That's because I've posted this FSD document to create the purchase order. So this is the service PO. This is the service PO based on which we are going to initiate the transactions, like for the ECC side, like for the payment part, service entry sheet creation, and then invoice verification by finance. There will be two-way, three-way matching of invoices, and the submission of the documents by the carrier based on their deliveries and all. So though after those matching, the finance team from the ECC side will proceed for the payment, and it will be accounts payable to the carrier. So that is that part of the ECC side or the material management side. But for the TM side, this is very important to understand this entire document flow, what Satish has shown us right from the beginning, starting with the sales order, this reference number sales order, and from sales order to delivery creation. And from the delivery creation, since we have these integrations being already set up, and in the detailed training, we'll also have a detailed look of how we are going to configure those steps into integration, like how the SD side or the MM side is getting created integrated with the TM side. So that link is that freight unit. So basically from the delivery, the OTRs get generated, which we normally don't see in this document flow, but it triggers an OTR or a DTR, and based on which this freight unit gets created in this TM side. And from this freight unit, when you're planning the freight unit using automation, automated planning using optimizer or a manual planning, you're creating the freight order. So this is the freight order that you're creating. Okay, let me just go down. Yeah, this is the freight order. And from the freight order, you're then creating the freight settlement document, which is this one, this freight settlement document. And finally, when you're posting the freight settlement document, after checking all the calculations and everything, I mean, resolving any kind of disputes or anything with the carrier regarding any discrepancies, then you proceed for the final posting of the freight settlement. So this PO creation and this freight settlement document, when we create, we finally proceed for the payment. If there is anything, any issue, any discrepancy after that also, we can always cancel these documents. For that, if invoice is already generated, we generally we take help from the finance team. We use a transaction which is only being accessed by the finance team, which is MR8M. Using MR8M, those invoice gets cancelled, and then we can bring back the document to this state, this ready for accruals. And when it is ready for accruals state, we can then reverse the document, we can cancel the FSD, and then we can go directly to the freight order in order to make any changes in the freight order. So let's say we have to add any planning organization, execution organization, or planning and execution group, something and something. So if it is a centralized system, then we have only one purchase org. We don't need to put any groups and all, any planning and execution group and all. And if it is decentralized, we can put those things, planning and execution group individually, because in a particular region there will be multiple plans if it is a decentralized system. So we have to understand based on the business. If it is a decentralized, then we have some multiple plants, okay, reporting to one purchase org. Or if we have multiple plants which have individual purchase org, in that case we have to use planning and execution group separately. That is being maintained in the organizational hierarchy, that we will go into deeper analysis or deeper setup for in our course curriculum. So that is one thing. For freight settlement document, it is also important to understand in the organization we also use internal settlement documents. So there are also internal settlement documents which we are not covering here right now, but it is important to know that there are internal settlement documents also like this. Okay, so internal settlement documents are for those where the system is decentralized, like you have multiple plants, each have their own purchase org, and you are creating your own internal settlement documents for internal checks with the carrier, and then you can change a number of times, and then you can finally go for posting and creation of the purchase order. So it is very similar. And then there are like month-end activities of transferring those internal settlement documents and postings during the month end. So this is all we have for the SAP TM perspective on the entire cycle, starting from sales order creation to posting of freight settlement document for purchase order creation and final payment. Over to you,
Yeah.
Satish.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Sunny. So, there's one other document which actually should be created, which is service entry sheet. We find some issue there, so we'll be fixing that up, and then we'll have the last part. I mean, if I just share my screen quickly, and then take you back to it, just to complete the cycle. Yeah, this part. So what we have done is we have done until the purchase order creation. So these two things, you need a service entry sheet. Typically, it should automatically create, and there would be certain backend PO side, sorry, MM side and SD side configuration setup is required here, so that service entry sheet also gets automatically generated as Sunny was posting in right settlement, and based on the purchase order the invoice is created. This is a very simple activity, so that is the thing which concludes the entire end-to-end process. Arvinder, over to you.
Thank you, Savik, and thank you, Sunny, for quickly going through the system. I understand that a lot of things you have tried to show here. So if you are struggling to understand these things, we'll be taking these things in detail during our training sessions, which is starting from Saturday. Satish and Savik, there's one question from Praveen. Most of the questions I have tried to answer it. From Praveen is how this cost is being distributed to customer invoice. Would you like to take it up? Anyone, Satish or Sunny?
So we map the condition types, from TM to the pricing procedure. So we map the condition types, and when the rate settlement is processed, then that particular condition type carrying that particular cost distribution is mapped onto the pricing side. Pricing procedure side condition type, and that is where you would get the cost attached to the customer invoice, because customer, you may want to bill the customer for the freight which you are expense which you are engaging. So that cost gets transferred to the condition type in pricing procedure. Sunny, you want to add something? If you
No, this is I completely agree. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Satish. So I've also shared one link over LinkedIn. So whatever your learning experience, what kind of things you have learned, please click on the link and share your learning experience over LinkedIn. Okay, so the link has been shared, and you can go through the link and share your today's learning experience there. I would be quickly going through and showing you that. Do you have any other questions on the part which we have shown? Most of the questions I have answered on the chat, but if you have any other question to the part which we have shown on the end-to-end TM process, if you have, you can quickly ask. Then I would be explaining you that what is the keys to success, that what is the vehicle to success, that how you would be able to learn SAP TM. Although a lot of things I have explained, but now I would be taking you and showing you our LMS system, how we give the assignments, how you would be able to get a lot of things together as a bundle if you have taken. Many people are already enrolled. So what kind of things is required to learn TM, and how we help to provide those things, that I would be talking about. Okay, so if you don't have any other questions, then I would be jumping into that part. And if you don't have any other questions specific to TM, so we are the three different experts. Myself is there, Sunny is there, and Satish is there. So we always try to bring the expert from the area so that you can get that training from those experts only, right? That's where I try to include multiple people so that they can give you the different flavors in the training. So I would be going ahead and now explaining you. I don't see any other question on the chat. Satish and Sunny, if you want to drop, you can drop it. I would be just explaining them the LMS system and then what are the keys to success that I would be talking about.
All right. Thank you, Parminder, Sunny.
Thank you.
Thank you, Parminder. Thank you, Satish. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, let me go through our mind map. Okay, so vehicle to success that I would be quickly talking about. So what is a vehicle to success? The first vehicle to success, what you require is you require dynamic content and assignments to learn, right? So what we do, what we have given, if you have gone through the link, again, Bhupender would be sharing the link, but if you have gone through the link, you can see here that multiple things has been provided here. This is the bundle content. We have multiple things has been provided here, right? So what are the product? You see that all of the products has been included in the bundle. So this is our dynamic content. So in this dynamic content, we have already the pre-recorded videos are there. Okay, so you can also check the full content which has been covered here. What are the topics which has been covered? You can check it. So this is, we call it dynamic content because we keep on improving it. Whatever the new things we find that has been introduced, we try to put it here. So that dynamic content would be there, and we understand, that as there is some people already working in the project and they want to learn particular thing, and we would be covering that after 1.5 months, and you don't want to wait for it. So by default, it comes with the dynamic content where the videos are already there, and you can jump into those videos and you can watch it anytime if you want, even before starting of the training itself. All the videos also have assignment documents, and solution documents are also there. Solution document would not be there for all of them. We have just put it the solution document to make you in a habit so that you do the system hands-on and you prepare your own solution documents. But assignment documents, solution documents with all of the sessions would also be there. So that has been provided. So what happened that that is a self-paced recorded videos. So this helps a lot. If we expect that in the live session, if you have already gone through the video and then you are jumping the live session, your learnings would be at a different level. You would be having totally at a different level of learning, understanding, you're asking the questions, your interactions, your focus would be completely different if you have already gone through the videos and you are attending. So we have keep on enrolling students throughout the year. Okay, and whenever the next live batch is starting, they join the live sessions also. Live session is also full year. Okay, so we expect you to go through the videos and then join the live session. Your understanding would be better, although it is not mandatory. Then another very important thing to success to learn SAP is the instructor-led sessions. Now, what instructor-led sessions give you? It gives you discipline. What happened that people, I am not very much fond of the self-paced trainings. People come and take the videos from us, but when I check the analytics, I found that they have just purchased, they have gone through 1 or 2 sessions, and then the discipline is out, the motivation is out, and it's just sitting in your account. You would be having so many PDFs, so many videos taken from somewhere, but it would be just saved in your laptop somewhere and you're not going through. The main advantage of the instructor-led session is at least it will be having a discipline. You would be coming live, you would be sitting in front of the laptop. That 2-3 hours when you will sit it, at least you will learn something. And we'll also be monitoring, checking you that whether you have done the assignments, whether you have completed it. So that things will trigger you to complete the course. So that discipline is very important, which will be coming with the instructor-led session. And second, motivation to learn, because it's very easy to start and it's more easier to quit, and the people get quitted. So that's what we have seen it, and then we have seen that okay, the self-paced video does not work, so we need to combine the self-paced and instructor-led in instructor-led trainings. So as soon as you enroll, you get the recorded videos, and you can also join the instructor-led session. Now, instructor-led session also you would be able to join throughout the year. So we'll keep on doing. So we are starting from scratch from this weekend, and then we'll take around 2 to 2.5 months to quickly, we call it gamifier mode, to cover in the gamifier mode every week, having 2 sessions to cover in the gamifier mode to completely cover the curriculum, in which a lot of assignments will be given to you, and you need to put your efforts to complete the assignments, right? So in 2.5 months, we'll be covering it. And then after that, we'll just take a 10-15 days of break, and then again, we'll start the same thing again. We'll start the same thing again. So we keep on doing this thing in rotation. So when you get this access, you'll be having access for 1 year, which means that if you started from this weekend, in between, if you have missed some sessions, definitely those session recordings would also be there. But if you want to go ahead with the next batch also, if you want to join it, we don't charge extra. You would be able to join it. Instructor-led sessions would be the one. So I will show you in the product. So you can go through the curriculum here, and then here you will be seeing here the gamifier S4 HANA TM. So gamifier is the live sessions. You would be able to check the link of the live session, even the previous live session also you can go through it. Okay. And whatever the recordings of the live sessions would be there, if you would be able to get it from here. Okay. Your links to join the live sessions and the recordings which happen for the live session, you would be able to get it from here. Live sessions, we are calling it 2 sessions. Okay. What are the 2 sessions we'll be having in the live? One is that concept session. On Saturday, we'll be focusing more on the concept so that we make sure that your concepts has been cleared. You are clear with the concepts. On Sunday, we'll be focusing more on the system part. Okay. Concept session would be happening on Saturday, and the system hands-on would be happening on Sunday. So what we have seen that, that why people are not able to succeed in TM, because the system hands-on is not there. So with this session, we are enforcing a little bit more system hands-on, where Sunny would be doing the things in system and would be showing it to you how it need to do. And now we are changing a little bit concept, because we are asking people on the Sunday session, you come with your laptops, with your lab access, so that we'll be asking you, boss, if you have completed the assignment, if you faced any issue, show it to us so that we can resolve it. If you have not completed the assignment, sit on that hours and do the completion of your assignment. Okay, complete your assignment, complete the system hands-on. Only theoretical knowledge will not help you. You'll have to go through the system. Okay, that is a vehicle to success. So we are giving specifically, we are focusing on your system hands-on on Sunday. We want to give you a push. I felt that once you get a push and you have started it, you are doing the transaction in the system, then automatically interest come, and then you will take it away, take it ahead from there. We are not here to do the spoon feeding for you. We are not here to hold your hand in each and every step. Our motive is that you should be able to work independently in SAP TM project as a consultant. Okay, and what that requires some monitoring and push. That monitoring and push, we will be giving it to you, and then you would be able to achieve the success. To support more into the system hands-on, we have a server access given to you. That is right now we are giving 2021 server access. That would be given to you. The live access we are giving for 1 year to join the live training sessions. The recordings also for 1 year. Server access would be there for 3 months. 3 months of SAP S/4HANA 2021 server access would be there, on which you would be doing assignments. I have a same system. Sunny has the same system, and Satish also has the same system. We all are working in same system. Every year we upgrade it to the new system. We have many students from last 2-3 years who are continuously using our servers, which is a dedicated service. After 3 months, if you want to continue, you can buy in the bundle of 3 months, you can buy the server access also. We charge somewhere around $100 plus, or 7,500 plus taxes. We charge it for the 3 months of server access. You can additionally take it. But when we jump to the new, when we'll be jumping to the 2022, there is no data transfer between 2021 and 2022. It would be the fresh system, and you need to go through and set up your system. Now, this server access which we are giving is not only the server access, there is also a product is there. Okay, so you can see here in the bundle, there is a server access, SAP S/4HANA server access. In this bundle also, you would be having an instruction that how to use this server. And there are also server guidelines are there, and there are also videos are available that how you can from scratch set up your system and use it. If you will be going through this video within 2 hours, even you are not taking MM and SD training from us, but within 2 hours from scratch, from the company code till running your full MM cycle, SD cycles, within 2 hours, you would be able to do it following this video. Generic errors, when you face FI related errors, some TM related generic errors, we have already created a videos and given to here, so that you would be able to quickly go through this video and resolve your issues on your own. Okay. Then what other things we will be requiring is the offline support. So when you are working on the system and suddenly you get some issue and you want to get it clarified, okay, so that one you require offline support. For offline support, we have a Telegram community. So you will also get access to the Telegram dedicated community for TM. Okay, in that TM, basically, when you go into when you're facing an issue or problem, you can just search on the Telegram community. A lot of things has been already resolved and you will find it there. If you have any question, you can put your screenshot and ask your questions. Okay, so let me also show you the Telegram community. Okay, I need to log into Telegram. The link you will be getting in the Teachable itself, that how you can go to the Telegram community. So this is TM Sastragi community, and you would be able to get the links which you want to join. If you're facing any problems, you can put the screenshot like Nitin has put it. And then you see that Sunny is responding to a lot of issues. Satish is responding. I am responding. So you can directly go and search in this, that what people has faced the issue and how it has been resolved can be done. The same way you can also put your issues here. So you need to do two things here. Put your issues and respond to the issues. If you want to learn more, respond to the other people issues, because this is a community. You're getting access to community. So community come with the benefits and the responsibilities. Responsibilities are try to answer other people issues. If you have already done that part, that would be helping you to increase your knowledge. That would be also helping you to prepare for interviews. When you think about, okay, what is his problem and how can I resolve it? Then you get more knowledge. So that is a community access where basically you can immediately put. We don't expect that immediate response would be there, because I am busy, Satish is busy in projects, Sunny is also busy in projects. So expect that there can be 24 to 48 hours of window on which response can come. In many of the community, you will get immediate responses if I am available, Sunny is available, and the existing students also, they can sometimes immediately respond to you if they have gone through the same problem and they have resolved it. Okay. So this is the one thing you will be getting it, the offline support from the Telegram community. And we know that you will require some cross module training, right? You might be interested also in EWM, what things happen in EWM and another modules, some generic topics, how the HANA migration cockpit works, or how the data archiving happening. So a lot of things comes in a project. It's not only the TM, that we understand that. So the cross module training we are doing in the step up circles. So a lot of people who has joined us for SD and MM are joining this session today so that they can learn TM, right? The same way you would be able to join every Monday morning session also, which is step up circle. You would be able to join, and you will also get the recording of the previous videos also. Okay, so if you will go ahead into this one, this is the recipe step up circles. And here you will get a lot of any module. If you want to quickly learn the overview of it, you can quickly jump. If you want to learn about what is predictive MRP, DDMRP, if you want to learn, you can check it from here. Ariba, if you want to learn. HANA Migration Cockpit, if you want to learn. Ariba overviews, if you want to learn. EWM overview, if you want to know about the TM and EWM integration, there are the sessions available. Next week, Monday, I would be covering on the user exits. A lot of people are asking me how to do the user exits, how to use them, right? From the functional angle, I would be covering in next Monday. So not only the TM, we in this community, you would be grow around. We know that if you want to grow as a consultant, you need multiple different knowledge. That's what we cover in the step up circle. Previous recording, which is around 80 hours of recordings, would be also given to you. Okay. We understand that you need to also work on the certification. You need to go do the certification. For certification also, we have given a product to you in this bundle. So if you will go here, yeah, this is the TM certification bundle. Here you would be able to practice the question, and we are also putting the explanation. Some videos are there, and in this question, some explanations are also there. Not all the question is having explanation. We are working on it, but many questions already have explanation. This is a question, why this is the right answers. Those kind of explanation also you will get it. Sai Kiran is saying that I don't know how to create customer and material master. Would you be helping on that? I have already shown you, Sai Kiran, if you have seen. So this I have shown you, right? So I know that you need multiple things. That's why I said you need a vehicle with all the accessories, resources, armature would be there, so that you would be able to do all the things. So this, if you go through our product of S/4HANA 2021, it starts with the enterprise structure. We have teach the enterprise structure. We have teach here the MM and SD master data creation. And with these two videos, you would able to also run the end-to-end MM cycle and SD cycle. Although you have not enrolled to us to learn SD and MM, but basic knowledge will be giving it to you, so that at least in this video, we have taught you that how you can create a business partner and how you can create a material master to complete MM or SD cycles. So this is you need to do initially, so that initial setup you need to do. In the training session also, there are assignments are there by which it has been shown how to create a business partner, how to create a material, because that thing you will require to run end-to-end scenario, and we understand that. So we support all of the things so that you would be able to complete your end-to-end scenario. She is asking that the step-up circuits earlier videos, yes, it comes with the bundle. Okay, we have combined into the bundle. If you want to buy it separately, you can also buy only the step-up circles. You would be able to join live sessions, and the recorded session also would be there. Okay, you can also buy it separately, step-up circle also. Okay, so what else you require it for success? So certification, then you also required interview preparation. Plus, I have already mentioned in the chat that we have a separate product for the interview preparation, so that you can practice the interview questions. If required, if you request us, I would also be able to generate the mock interviews, and we also have a placement assessment assistance now. But frankly telling you, the people who are completing the course, okay, people who are completing the course, they are not coming to us for the placement assistance, because if they have completed the course, if they have prepared the CV, there are a lot of jobs from the Naukri itself. They are getting so many interview calls, so they are not coming to us. But if you require placement assistant, I am associated personally with the 3 different companies who handles the logistics, TM and EWM projects only. So we will be forwarding your CVs to them, to these companies. And when you prepare your CVs, there are a lot of abundance opportunities are available. Okay, if you have taken the training, if you have not got through the TM project so far, please send us your CV. Okay, we have associated with the company. We would be able to help you out. I also asked my team to call you and check what is your status. You have done that, completed the training or not, whether you got the job after the training, if you're struggling, so that I can help you out where you are struggling. So the earlier students, if you are still struggling, please reach out to the support team. We have that staff available. We have those linkages available by which we would be able to help you with the placements also. Okay. Okay, so these all things which you require interview preparation also, I will show you quickly. Give me file S4 HANA server access. Okay, in the interview preparation, I don't see, I think it is not released. We'll get it released for the interview preparation. There is also one product it's not showing. I think somehow it has gone unpublished. We'll get it published. Apart from that, you will also be getting Fiori A to Z for functional consultants. That is, if you want to learn deeper the Fiori from functional angle, there's a separate course which I have created that you will be getting it. By default, this course is there. I am going to remove it. This course would not be there, Job and Mastery. Job and Mastery to give you the full exposure to the implementations and support project. Generally, we are now putting, because this is becoming too big bundle. It would be having more than 200 hours of recorded, somewhere around 250 hours of recorded session. So I've already asked team to remove this part from this bundle. So if you have already purchased, you would be having access to this. If you purchase in next 2-3 days, you will be having access to SAP Job and Mastery, a complete implementation and support exposure. But next week, we are going to remove out, because from the cost perspective and the value we are giving, it's too high. So we would be moving out this content. If you want this, you purchase it now. Otherwise, In next 2-3 days, I will get it removed, this part. Okay, this part you can get full exposure in different phases of implementation, what kind of documents need to be prepared, how a functional consultant handle the challenges, end-to-end implementation. If you want to show with the help of this product, you would be able to show. But this part, we are only adding it into the bundles of the basic SDMMPP. So it will get removed from here very soon. A to Z Fiori would be there. And this is the success stories. If you want to see that how other people has got the success, that you can go through from here. So this is what we offer, right? So this is what the full bundle offers. You can, if you don't afford the bundle, go ahead and buy this self-paced training, which comes with the lesser cost. We try to give you from smaller to till the bigger cost levels. We try to give you bundle is basically around 60 to 70% discounted already. If you're not able to afford, please don't come back to us for any kind of discounts. We don't have any. Okay. You will be wasting your time also, and you will be wasting our time also. We don't have any kind of discounts. You can, if you're not able to afford, you can start with this one. Okay. Self-paced TM learning, you can start with this one. If you are able to afford, you can take the bundle. Okay. We don't have any kind of discounts. Please don't come back to my team for discounts. Whenever the discounts will come, maybe on the Christmas part or the year-end part or Diwali festival part, we have some discount offering. You will be getting an email for that. But right now, as of now, there are no discounts. We try to give you courses starting from 10,000. It goes up to 35,000, the different bundles in the courses. If you're not able to afford the bundle, you can start your learning with the smaller product, which is a self-paced learning. Okay, you take your call. Okay, she is asking what are the charges for this bundle. These are the charges for this bundle. This can be different for the different countries because the tax would be applied on it. There would be additional taxes based on the country you are subscribing would be applied on it. Okay, these are the bundle charges. If you want to, if you cannot afford $447, you can go ahead with only $247, where the self-paced would be there. Instructor-led session would not be there. Only this product would be available with you. Okay, so you take your call that what you can afford, what is your pocket. Based on that, you take your call. Okay, the links has been shared for the TM bundle. Also, share the link for the self-paced training also, Bhupinder. Vasavi, no, this is part of the bundle. So whatever the things are available in this certification product, we keep on updated. No need to buy it again. So these all contents are dynamic. SAP is changing. SAP is dynamic. So we are also dynamic. So we keep on improving the same product. It does not mean that once I have added more explanation to it, you need to buy it again. No, it would be there in this one. You will see that the people who has taken the subscription 7 months ago and they are seeing the product now, a lot of new things, a lot of new assignments, a lot of new blogs, articles we have included in this product. So this is a dynamic product. We will be having access to 1 year. After 1 year, if you want to have continue your access, that time you need to pay somewhere around 30% to continue your next year access. But in 1 year, you will be having all the access. Whatever the modification we are doing, you will be able to get those modifications also. Server access is not there in Mradula. In this product, the server access is not there. If you need server access, then you need to buy this one, $247. And then you need to also buy server access. So total is $347, right? That's where basically the bundle make more sense. In $447, you're getting everything. We have so many people learning only the self-paced, but they are going through bundle because bundle offer a lot of things. If you want to have server plus recording videos, that would be costing you $347. And everything, all these below products, total costing you $447. If you're not able to join the live session, anytime over the weekend, you have a time you will be having opportunity, you jump into the live session and get your doubts clarified with the trainers. That is the benefits you would be having it. Govardhan is interested in the internship. So Govardhan internships, right now we are doing internship for ABAP, SD, MM, PP and FICO. Those modules we are doing internships. We are right now not doing for for TM internships. Internship, basically we have created a project and you will be working on a project. It's not like that we will be paying you for that internship. Okay, you need to pay for the internship because it's a training plus internship. You're not doing a project for any client to whom I am charging for it. So I have separated out my time to give you that exposure. I have created that project. I have created that team of the combination of SD, MM, PP, FICO. I have put it the resources. I have put it my team to collaborate. So you can take that internship. Right now we are into the blueprinting stage where people are working on the blueprints. They are creating a blueprint. The process flow diagrams as a study has been completed. So that is kind of a dummy project we have created, but real time team is there. I would be there to guide. SD consultant, MM, FICO, ABAP, all the consultants would work together to get this project delivered. And you need to work on all the documentations. And then you will be getting a 6 month of internship certification also. That's what we are giving it. Right. So that is right now for TM, EWM modules, we don't have it. Sunil is asking for certification product quiz section will be one time, or we can you can do the multiple times. If you are facing any challenges to have a multiple submission, please report to the support team, because in some of our product people has faced challenges which we have fixed it, but you will be able to go through the quiz multiple times. She's asking how much do you charge for internship? So internship is right now we are charging 50,000 plus taxes for the internship. Is a 6 month of internship, which includes mastery training, excellence training, SAP Job Hunt Mastery, A to Z Fury, HANA Migration Cockpit. So all of these trainings, video-based trainings, live trainings, plus internship, we are costing right now 50K. The total product cost would be 80K. So right now we are not adding the cost of internship. If you take the SD Mastery and Excellence, it will cost you 55K. But if you take in the internship bundle, it will cost you 50K. Actually, on the cost of training, you are getting an internship also. But you need to buy it together. You need to buy the internship bundle. Right now it is 50K. I need to take it to 80K to include the cost of internship. Right now the cost of internship is not included. So basically you are buying the bundle of SD Mastery and SD Excellence, or MM Mastery and MM Excellence, and you are also getting it the internship also, but you need to buy it together as a single payment. Vasavi, this course we are starting from coming Saturday. Coming Saturday, India Standard Time. For people joining from Western time zones, it would be Friday evening for you. Rigobert has a question. What will be your advice with where to start TM course between the S4HANA TM and Gamifier? So my advice would be there, Rigobert, to go with this bundle. Bundle include both the Gamifier also and recorded TM also. Gamifier is the live sessions and this TM is the recorded session. It includes both. So my suggestion would be you enroll with this link for the bundle. That's where it would be the good starting point. Vasavi is asking, can I start it from second week of August? Once you enroll, you can jump anytime. So if you will be jumping in between, second week of August, we'll be in between. So you will be able to attend the live sessions, but few sessions you will miss it. That you can join in the next run, because we are giving for 1 year of the live session access. When you are joining next time, that session you can cover it next time. Or for the initial session, when you're going through the recordings, if you have some question, you would be able to ask the trainers. So, Vasavi, make a note, we are giving the certification help. To take the certification, you need to pay separately to SAP. For one attempt, it costs 25,000 approximately in INR. For 6 attempts, which we recommended, it costs somewhere around 48,000. That you need to pay to SAP to sit into the certification exam. The certification help is included in the price, which is shown in the certification help. The questions which we are giving is included in the price. Shri, we are not covering GTS. We are not covering GTM. We are working on 2.0 course for SAP TM for the experience. Once you have a basic exposure, even this also people are not able to cover. Okay, the people who are joining us, they are able to cover the content we are providing. They're only able to cover 40 to 50%. So we are planning for a next level of TM training, which would be having more complicated scenarios included, which would be having integration with the GTS or other people parts is included. Right now, we are giving the overview that how the different integrations would be happening, but we are not going into deep of it. Okay, because people are not able to digest that level of knowledge together, especially who are learning first time TM. So in this course, it is not covered in deep, but the overview would be there. Nitin, for your specific query, please drop it to support at Shastra Geek. They would be able to let you know what would be the charges for you. Okay, they Bhupender would be able to let you know. So just drop a message to support@shastrageek.com. Okay, you know the bundle, but you don't know in which order you need to go. Okay, so order in the live training session will be guiding you. But basically, once you have bought the bundle and if you want to start your trainings, you need to start with this one. On the left-hand side top, we have SAP S/4HANA TM. This one you need to start up. And when you are doing the system hands-on, just have a look on this product of server access. Through the server access also, you can take help. Although this product also is helping you out to give you that how you need to set up your system, but this server product can help you to set your system. So when you are into this product, which is this one, you need to start from the top and go through these sessions. Okay, that is your major sequence which you need to go through it. Okay, so this is the one which you need to basically follow from this sequence. Okay, and we will be letting you know once you are preparing for certification, then jump into the certification part. Anytime you want to learn more into Fiori, so you can jump into Fiori part. So these are not mandatory things to do it, but whenever you are getting time to get additional knowledge, these complementary courses has been added. But main thing which you need to follow is this one, SAP S/4HANA TM. This one you need to follow it. If you are facing any difficulties to understand something, you report it to the Telegram group or you join the live session and the trainer can suggest you, okay, for this particular topic in the gamifier, there is some specific session is there where it has been explained in more detail. Then you jump into this gamifier session. Malika Arjun has a question. What suggestion? I have experience in SAP SD in ECC only. Shall I go for S/4HANA SD bundle or TM bundle confused? So Malik, you need to do both, but step by step. So not the S4 in S/4HANA SD also we have two bundle, excellence and mastery. So if you want to go for SD, you need to go for excellence bundle so that you can get yourself upskilled to S/4HANA. Okay. So it totally depends on that, Malik, that what is your priority. So I can give you access to unmute. You can unmute and you can let me know. Are you looking for immediately a job or you're working in your company and slowly in slow progress, you want to upskill yourself? Based on that, I would be suggesting you. So either you can type or you can unmute and let me know what is your priority. Why do you want to upskill? Are you want to learn, grow in your current company, or you're looking something outside for the job opportunities you're looking for? In between, Prashant has a question. When you are arranging for mock interview for PP, mock interviews are on demand. So whenever you want it, drop an email to support@Shastra Geek, and then we'll be arranging it. Okay, all the mock interviews are on demand. There's no fixed schedule for it. So drop an email and then we'll get it scheduled. No, bundle cost does not, Vineet, bundle cost does not include taxes. The taxes would be extra. Based on the country you are buying it, there can be additional cost, additional taxes on that. So check on from your portal, the Teachable will automatically show you with cost with the taxes. Malik is currently working on supporting S4HANA project as a SD consultant. That's fine, Malik, but what is the target? Do you want to grow in your current company, or you are looking for immediately you want to look for a job change? If you are immediately looking for a job change, from job change perspective, first going through TM would be more beneficial, because SD plus TM will give you more options. So first you go for TM, Malik, if you are looking for job change. After, once you complete, give your full dedication to TM. Okay, I don't want you to go two things together. First do the TM, and once the TM is completed, then go for the S4HANA excellence in SD. So first do TM for you. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions which I have missed on the above, or some career related question people are already asking? If you have any other question, I give you last 2 minutes to get it asked. Enrollment price shows 32,990. Is this price for the entire bundle? Yes, this is the price for the entire bundle. Vasavi, this is the price for the entire bundle. Indian has a question between TM and EWM. Which one has more demand in market outside India? I am from SAP ABAP background. So outside India, if you will ask me, the demand wise, it's more little, EWM is little more than the TM. Okay, EWM is little more than the TM. But I never suggest people that based on demand, you should select the module. No, I never suggest. Definitely, you should look for hierarchy, which one is the module which is having a higher demand. TM and EWM is both good. If you are from the ABAP background, what you need to think about is during your ABAP experience, which modules you have more integration with. Have you worked more onto the SD side? Have you worked more into the MM side? How much of deep SD and MM knowledge you have? That is first thing you need to check, and based on that, you need to take a call. You can earn very good with the TM also. You can earn very good with the EWM also if you become an expert in these areas. Okay, both are good. But don't select your module based on the market, only based on the market demand. Also check your current expertise. Okay. So if you tell me your current expertise, then I would be able to suggest what you need to do. Sunil is asking what is a diamond product. So we also have now a diamond product. Diamond product is access to all the live sessions which we are having, SD, MMPP, FICO, and access to all the recordings also, all the recordings which we have available, all the live sessions which is available for all the modules. And right now there is a huge discount on the diamond products. In the 1 year subscription, we are giving it for 2 years. So for 2 years, you will be having access to the full platform, Sunil. You will be having access to the full platform, any trainings, any videos, any live session you would be able to jump in, which is happening with Sastra Geek. Bhupendra also shared the link for diamond product. It would be little expensive in nature, but it covers a lot. That's our flagship product for US and Europe. People are liking it a lot and adopting it a lot. It's actually getting replacing, giving a tough competition to SAP product. Malik has a question. How can we approach for job change with TM module where I have experience in SD after completing the TM training? You already have experience in SD. That's what I know. Just give me a minute. Malik, you already have experience with SD. That's what I know from your comment. Okay, if you can unmute, we can discuss it more. My understanding is you already have experience in SD, so SD plus TM will go. S4HANA Excellence SD, you will be doing later. That would be adding that you also knew new function and features which is introduced with S4HANA. How the approval process need to happen for orders, AATP, okay, credit management, settlement management, that new topics will get added with Excellence. But as per my understanding, you already have SD knowledge, so SD plus TM will go ahead. So in Dan, you have worked more on the SD side, so then you should go for TM. Okay, SD has more stronger integration with the TM, EWM has more stronger integration with the MM side. Okay, so work you should go for, and if you don't feel that you're strong in SD, generally we suggest to start with the basic. You can do the mastery for SD and then TM. If you feel that SD you know a lot of things, the basic configuration and the transaction process, delivery, shipment, invoices, you know it, then you can directly jump to TM. Prashant is asking that he has completed PP mastery course and then he's going to the job and mastery. So first thing, Prashant, you need to do, you need to prepare your CV and give it to us. Okay, you can give it to the Telegram group, or you can also notify it to the support team so that we can review your CV. I have get it corrected 2-3 people's PP CV. They were not getting interview calls because the CV was not correct. So based on the job and mastery, you first section is the CV preparation. Get your CV prepared as we have guided. Share with us so that we can review your CV. If the CV is correctly maintained, prepared it, then you will be getting interview calls. And then your job and mastery learning would be parallel to the interviews. Okay, parallel to the interviews. PP certification is not mandatory. That thing can happen in parallel. So don't wait that you will complete the mastery, you will complete the job and mastery, you will complete the PP certification, then you will apply for jobs. No. Your job search should start parallel because learning is continuous. It's a continuous abundance of learning is there, right? So you should start your job search right away before certification, before completion of job and mastery. Once you have completed the CV preparation, prepare your CV, give it to us, and keep on updating your CV based on your learnings. When you're learning more, try to add those keywords in your CV so that you get more interview calls. That is for Prashant. Okay, any other questions? Before I call end of this session, if you have any other questions, I'm available. Okay, if you don't have any more questions, we are ending our session here for today. Also join our next session. I will be covering the user exits parts. That would be very beneficial. Any module you are handling, it would be beneficial. Okay, so join for user exits, join the next Monday. Thank you for joining today, and we'll catch you back on next Monday. We'll catch you back on the Saturday and Sunday also with Satish and Sunny on the initial session of SAP TM. Thank you and bye-bye for now.